After a long rainstorm in the desert, I watched little drops of runoff splashing off a rock face into little indentations in each rock. Each drop fell exactly in the same place as the drop before, and over the years the procession had dug a tiny hole into the stone. I looked around at the other rocks in the area and saw that they too were pockmarked by the slow but steady effects of erosion over the years. Poor relationships can be like that rain. We start out on a course of learning and self-improvement with the best of intentions, but little by little our efforts are undermined by the associations that we choose. We do, however, have an advantage over those rocks. We can move. Maybe you've allowed your efforts to be sabotaged by wrong friends, wrong thoughts, negative input of some sort and kind, but you have a choice. You can choose to stand in the rain of negativity and slowly be worn down by it, or you can find shelter, a support group of like-minded people, a good book, podcast, program, minister, mentor, coach, a helpful and positive friend. Be aware of all the negative rain in your life. If even a stone can be worn down over time by consistent falling rain, how much more must we be aware of the influences in our lives? Seek out that which is edifying and find shelter from that which can erode your resolve. God, protect me from the negative influences which erode my beliefs. Help me protect myself. Surround me with that which is positive, edifying, and uplifting. This is from one of my favorite books, Language of Letting Go by Melanie Beattie. I have a feeling you needed to hear this today and everything else that I'm about to share with you. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? This is your host, Tiffany Carter, and the show that is going to help your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships soar like never before and bring all of the things that you want in life to you with more ease, with more joy, with more damn fun. This is part 4 of my No Fluff audio guide to having it all this summer. This 4-part series is designed to give your bank account and business a huge dose of sweet summer abundance. And we're focusing part 4 on scaling to multiple 6 figures by December by working less and making more. There is an exciting giveaway that I'm doing with this 4-part series. So you're going to want to do this today because we're on the end of the series. And when you leave a written review of the podcast on Apple Podcasts, leave your name in the review or your Instagram and TikTok handle, take a screenshot of it and email it to us at support@projectmewithtiffany.com. You can also DM me on Instagram. It's much easier, though, if you email it to us. The instructions are in the show notes, and so is the email. So you can simply swipe up. But for each written review, I will give you my brand new, never released before, Work Less While Making More printable workbook for free. This will soon be for sale, so you're going to want to absolutely do this. So you do need to do a written review on Apple Podcasts. All the other podcast platforms, you can tap the 5 stars, but they don't have written reviews yet. Make sure you take a screenshot and again, leave your name or Instagram handle. And ideally, I want you to email that to us. Also, want to make sure that in case you missed it, thousands of people at this point have listened to the big Summer Cash live training that I did with Samantha Parker last Wednesday. and people have gone nuts over it. Everyone is saying it's the best training online that they literally have ever done. People are already getting results by implementing what I taught inside the training. And we extended access to the live replay for the 4th of July holiday. And I told my team, let's give people one more day for today for this podcast episode that you can go register and listen. But that's it. You've got to prioritize doing that. And you can register by going to projectmewithtiffany.com/summer cash. And that is also in the show notes. All right, let's get going on this cash making training today. I feel like it'd be good to start off with some stats and facts just to get your damn brain excited and proof of what is available and possible and here for you. The e-learning market, meaning people selling their knowledge, life experience, and skill sets, whether it's doing digital courses, masterminds, retreats, programs, memberships, you name it. This was already a $107 billion industry back in 2015. And it is projected, and this is according to Forbes, that it's going to reach $325 billion by 2025. That's not far away. So last year, just in online courses alone, so not including all those different other ways you can package your intellectual property, just online courses from last year, $46 billion. All you need is a micro slice of this, and you've got that freedom level cash. And why this is so important for you to really sink into the series and go and take advantage of that live replay of the summer cash training. I do all of this while working part-time. The first thing that you need to let go of and then replace it by embracing it is this thought, is this belief that you've had programmed and you've had it emulated to you for decades and decades and decades, and you've watched people around you doing the same thing. And it's that in order to have success, we have to sacrifice. In order to have the freedom level cash that gets me the options to send my kids where I want them to go to school, to take trips at a whim whenever I want, to work where I want, to make my own schedule, to be able to buy that car and that house if I want to buy it, and do whatever I want with that money, where you can have more time to do all these things. The reason why you are hitting a glass ceiling in your business and you're not hitting that consistent multiple six figures and seeing it grow and it happening in a way that feels joyous and fun to you. Not that every day is going to feel that way. I've coached people who are actors, singers, professional athletes who, those are jobs a lot of people covet because they think they're so easy. These people have horrible days, boring days, trying days, difficult days, shit days, amazing days, glamorous days. It's no different in any kind of business. And it's also no different no matter how much you have in the bank. But I will say this, anyone who says to you that money can't buy happiness, this is my theory. They've either never been broke or they've never been rich. And then they're kind of resentful of that. Like they don't think it's in the cards for them, that it's possible for them. And so I need you to let go of that belief that in order to have what you want, it's going to require all this sacrifice. It's going to require things that you don't have access to. Knowing the certain people, having certain, skill sets, like knowing technology and being a social media wizard. All those things can be taught and hired out. It's just not true. So I need you to be willing and open to say, you know what, I'm going to insert a new programming chip. That's just simply old programming. It's outdated. Just like we get new iOS software for our phones, for our laptops, for any of our apps that, are always needing updating because there's bugs in the system or because it needs to interface with something else. You need to do the same thing with your brain. You've been operating with bugs and not doing any updates consciously on this operating system. So no wonder it's gone haywire. No wonder it's preventing you from having the abundance as easily as you would like, and in a way that feels genuine and good to you. It gets to be easy. It gets to be fun. Keep saying that to yourself. Because if you don't feel that way, you're going to keep blocking yourself from making that next level cash. And that doesn't mean easy, I don't do anything, I sit back on my ass and expect it all to come to me. And then when I don't see it working, I'm just going to quit, or I'm going to switch to something else and move to something else. That's the other problem, is when you launch something or you put something out there, or you're trying to grow on a new platform or trying to grow an email list, whatever it is, and you're not seeing the results and the timing that you think it should happen in because of the effort you've put out, you end up taking your foot off the gas. And this is very common this time of year in particular, and this particular year. I'm seeing a lot of people take their foot off the gas. Oh, people aren't buying in the summer. Oh, people are worried about the economy, this, that, and the other. I've had my highest month ever at Project Me with Tiffany Carter. That's number one. And it's not just me. I have countless clients who've also had their highest month. I had a client, and I'll be sharing her video that she so graciously sent me, singing my praises and all the help I've given her. $70,000 month, highest month ever in her business in 5 years. And this wasn't this, and she went to Israel during this. And she also, I know she had a thing that she had to go to Florida for. And I know for a fact that she was working part-time doing this. But she first had to believe and be willing to change the chipset and do an upgrade on the app that's been running in your head. You just had it been running. Imagine never closing out those apps in your phone. Never like restarting your computer, refreshing it. You have everything open. And just like that reading at the beginning of the show, which you should really go back and listen to a couple of times, it's a slow erosion of abundance that occurs. Just like that same drip, 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 drip of the water on the rock over time creates a hole in a rock. It's the same thing that's going on with you, where you have negative influences. Maybe people who live with you are like really projecting their money shit and their scarcity on you, or you have a business partner, or you have a combo of the two, which God bless you. God bless you on that. You know, you have stuff going on in your personal life. Say, okay, you can choose to do an upgrade on the abundance app that's running in your brain at any given time. And let's do that today and put in there. There's no reason why I can't scale my business to multiple six figures by December. And guess what? I don't give a shit if you're starting at zero. I know that sounds crazy. Now I'm going to tell you what it takes to get there if you're starting from zero right now, or you're starting at 5,000 or 10,000 right now. Yeah, is it, if you already have momentum and you're already at 10 and 15 right now, yeah, there's only a few tweaks we need to make for us to get you to the mid multiple six figures and the high six figures. But when you're starting, it can feel like it's slower. You just need to be more deliberate and more conscious. And that's the other thing. Stop with the thoughts that, oh my God, in order to get to this next level, it's going to be so much. I'm going to have to do all these things. I'm going to have to give up so much more time and give up so much more energy. And no, it's actually the simple things are what changes businesses. It's what I do with my mastermind students, which if you haven't seen it, which apparently a lot of you guys aren't seeing my content or my emails. So make sure you add my address in your emails. Go into your junk folder even right now while you're listening. And I guarantee my emails to you are in there, which is crazy. So you need to make sure you flag them that they're good emails. They're emails that you want to receive in your inbox, and add me to your address, because my Secret Posse weekly digest email list, it's free and it's legit. It's exclusive content that you don't get anywhere else. Plus you get exclusive offers. And this is a lot of money mindset, manifestation tips, affirmations, exercises that I use on myself and with my clients. So this mastermind, I call it the Abundance League 4-month business mastermind plus a live 2-day event here at my beach house. Those applications are open. You can review all the details and everything on the page. The link is in the show notes. It's also in my bio on Instagram and TikTok. But that Abundance League is purposely designed to scale you to the multiple 6 figures as long as you already have some kind of business that's started. You don't have to be rolling in the cash in it, okay? Like this is not this mastermind of mine. I'm not saying, oh, you have to be making $1 million a year or anything like that. No, it's more about that you have the willingness, you have the drive to do it. You're a heart-based entrepreneur, and that you are at a point where you're like, listen, I'm humble. I want to learn. And you show me the way, Tiffany. You share the steps, and I'm going to run with it. Those are the people that I'm looking for in that mastermind. It is already more than half full. So we have an absolute cap at 20 people. I can't take one more person in integrity because you get semi-private coaching. And then you're also going to be getting a lot of personalized attention at the 2-day in-person event. So go swipe up and apply to that. What was my point in sharing all of that? My point is I designed that mastermind to be 4 months and launched it at this particular time of year because the second thing that you need to focus on to get to 6 figures by December is you can't do this alone. You've got to have a come to Jesus with yourself. You cannot expect to make life-changing boss level cash by taking half measure moves. I get it. It feels safer that way. Believe me, I am rooted in wanting to feel safe and secure because of my abusive childhood and the fact that I have complex PTSD. But that doesn't work in business. That doesn't work in abundance, because when you don't take risk for yourself and bet on yourself, why would the universe take a risk on you? Because what you're really saying when you don't take a risk, when you don't put skin in the game, when you don't invest, when you don't spend money before you're making the money, is that you're saying to the universe, I don't really believe this is going to happen, right? Like you're kind of almost entitled. Like, I want to see proof it's going to happen, and then I'll put more skin in the game. Yeah, really think about all the people that have had great success, whether they're online businesses, service-based businesses, product-based businesses, all the different people on the Shark Tank, the guests. Look at Bethany Frankel. Look at the chick who did Spanx, Sarah Blakely. You really look at myself. There's lots of evidence out there. When you look at these people, they all spent money before they made money. They took a risk and they bet on themselves. And if that risk didn't pay off, they doubled down. Now, am I saying not to put food on your table as a result? Of course not. But if your brain is going there and is getting defensive, you need to take a look at that. Because the universe is like, you don't really trust and believe in yourself enough to bet on yourself and take the risk to follow through. You want to be intentional, and you want to listen to your gut and intuition before you invest money in your business in any which way, whether it's hiring an employee, a VA, applying and joining my mastermind, working with me privately, joining my Project Me Posse business coaching membership, whatever it is. You want to make sure you do that. Yes, of course. You don't want to just arbitrarily, oh, I'm going to buy this course and I'm going to sign up for this thing, and just because I signed up, everything's going to happen for me. No, you want to be really intentional, but that doesn't mean everything you touch is going to turn to gold. You need to be willing that sometimes things have to fail and flop and go sideways, or maybe even end up neutral, where it really not much happens, but you didn't lose that much either. It was like a meh. That's all happening and part of it for a reason too. You can't just have the glory, and it can't just have the cash for this to work. You have to be able to palate and weather the storm, but you don't have to do it alone. I can't do it alone. And nor should you do it alone. It's not recommended. If you want all of your shit to come up, you either need to have children, write and publish a book, and start a business, right? One of the 3 things, and some of you are doing all 3, and God bless you, because it's no joke, all right? So set yourself up. What are you going to do to stack the odds in your favor that there is a system that can be customized for you, because it's not a one size fits all. It has to be a system that's customized. It can't be, here's my way and learn my exact way and do the 17 emails and copy my swipe file. And a lot of that stuff can sound attractive because it's like, it's all done for you and you can get my templates and all this stuff. But if it is not customized or customizable to your personality, your ideal client, your style, your life, you're not going to do it. It's no different than workouts where you need to do burpees and you need to run sprints, Tiffany. It ain't happening. I'm not going to do it. Right? In fact, I could really hurt myself because I have no cartilage in my knees from having an exercise addiction for most of my life. And that's a real thing, by the way. And I don't have cartilage and it sucks. I wish I did. Someone needs to figure that one out. So you could hurt yourself by trying to stuff a square peg into a round hole. But you're going to have to pay for high quality guidance of this kind. If you're looking for cheap solutions and you're looking for quick solutions, it is not going to get you to the multiple six figures. And some of you can go, well, of course you're saying that, Tiffany, because you're wanting us to work with you and one of your high ticket offers. Sure, your ego could tell you that. Absolutely, it could tell you that. It's still facts, and I've got the receipts. And it's not just me having the receipts. Go look at the page. I have dozens and dozens of people who have now crossed the 7-figure mark from all different industries, creative entrepreneurs, people who have different challenges. Some people have learning disabilities. Some people were shy and terrified of being on social media. Some people were going through a divorce. Some people were working on a lot of inner work and trauma while they're doing this. Some people had their entire team betray them. All sorts of challenges and backgrounds. We all have challenges going on, but we also all have a leg up. I have no idea where that expression came from, but I probably should look. We all have a leg up. Part of my leg up, yeah, I got white privilege and I was raised in a wealthy neighborhood. So I got top tier education and it was paid for. Okay, there's an example. Yeah, but there was a catch. The dark side of it is I grew up in the house of horrors and was sex trafficked from ages 11 to 21 years old. Okay, so everyone has this duality. You have it within you as well. You've probably just been focusing on all the areas you lack, like I'm not disciplined enough and I procrastinate and I have a hard time focusing and I'm all over the place and I never get anything done and I'm not good at technology and oh my God, this social media thing freaks me out. I'm like too old to be doing this and all this crap. Okay, we can go down all that whole road. That's not going to get you to 6 figures by December. It's just not. Let's get into the tangible stuff. Okay, like the actual straight up what needs to be done. Whether you're starting from scratch or you're many years in, you need to reverse engineer an offer. So let's take an offer that you have. Let's say it is a higher ticket group coaching program or a mid-ticket group coaching program. That's what you want to sell. So first, what is it you want people to buy? Let's use that as an example. We can even use my mastermind as an example since it's in front of my face and I don't have to do anything from my ass. I haven't said that in a while. That was long overdue. So how many do you want in there, or how many people can you take and keep the integrity and the quality of what you're promising the people? So in my case with this mastermind, the max I can take is 20, and you're getting me plus 2 top-notch other support coaches that are trained on my methodology and my emotional-based sales techniques. So you have 3 people for 20 people. Yeah, exactly. Super generous, but that's how I operate. I over deliver. So we've got to make sure you look at it in that way. How can I deliver the best product, the best end result for my people? So let's say it's 20, right? I want 20, but I'm not just going to take anybody, right? If I end up with 15 or if we already are over 10, but if I end up with 15, I'm not going to try to fill the 5 spots with people who aren't a good fit. So I don't want you doing that either. So how many people do you want in your thing? Let's say it's 20. Okay, that's great. And how much money is that? Is it 20 times 1,000, 20 times 3,000, 20 times 500? Make sure you do that math so you see what that actual number is for yourself. How are we going to get the people aware of this offer? And this includes the people in your immediate audience. Even if you have 300 people in your audience, it includes those people. So you need a simple funnel, not some complex 17, directional thing. A simple funnel to generate high quality leads for this particular offer that quickly convert into sales. So what are you going to do as an exciting lead generator? Are you going to do a challenge? Are you going to do a live event, an in-person event, an online event? Are you going to release a really cool ebook? Are you going to do a series of Instagram and Facebook lives? Are you going to do some kind of a special TikTok series? What are you going to do to really build up hype and excitement that leads people to this offer? So you can go, because this is the last day, you can go watch the live replay of my summer cash live training. This is a perfect example of something that I did as a funnel to lead people into the mastermind. Now, you will notice when you listen to this or you rewatch it, because you can also treat it like a podcast and multitask. You don't have to actually watch us, although I did have a custom made outfit for it. Just saying. This lead generator, this launch leader, this is the term I call them. You have to deliver the goods whether someone buys or not, because you'll lose faith and respect from people. So there are, like I said, hundreds and hundreds of people who screenshotted, who messaged, who commented how much value. They're already making money from this training. They can't believe how much I gave away. They had so much fun. It was so interesting. They stayed completely engaged, because you need to come from a place of service first. You come from service first, the abundance always comes. I have zero doubt about that. So you want to make sure that launch leader is something you're super excited by and you over deliver. I don't mean over giving where you deplete yourself, but you really over deliver and you're not coming into it with an agenda. People can smell it and feel it. So again, that link is in the show notes, projectmewithtiffany.com/summer cash. And you will see a live example of what I'm talking about. The second thing, you need to strategically develop and design your offer so people are eager to buy. So this, using the example of if you're doing a group coaching and you're wanting to drive people to it, or my mastermind, you need to refine your offer. Most of the time when people come to me and they're not getting the volume of people buying their courses, their programs, or even like signing up for their retreats or live events, it's not because of what you're actually giving the people. Stuff is typically all wonderful. It's the wrapping paper. Your wrapping paper is some like beige brown shit with some like nasty janky bow. You know what I mean? Or your wrapping paper is Christmas colored and Christmas themed, except it's summer. It's mismatched. And so you really need to have other people, not randos, but you can use ideal clients looking at your stuff who are going to be honest with you. This is obviously something we do in my mastermind. But have someone looking at your offer, your sales page, your messaging around it, your key points around it, your wording, the look, the vibe, the feel, and give you honest feedback on if it's working or not. I had honest feedback for my mastermind. I wrote all of the copy for the information page without realizing it from a very messed up, highly protective headspace from doing this trauma work that I've been working with a couple practitioners on. And we had to rework the entire page because the energy of the page felt very protective versus welcoming and nurturing, which I am and my team is. We weren't seeing that. but I had to ask people to look at it for me. I have people I pay to look at these things and be honest for me. Third thing when it comes to this, the art, science, and strategy of creating sales pages and email marketing when you are launching something. Yes, there's an art, strategy, and science to it. And your intuition as well that's in there. But what happens is you're relying on from your ass when I feel like it. Oh, I'm going to talk about this. You're sprinkler systeming people. If you don't fire hose people, and I don't mean fire hose in a bad way, you need to really saturate these people with your offer for enough people to even see it. You're going to be so sick of yourself feeling like, oh my God, I've talked about this so much and incessantly. People are going to be so tired of me. And then you start looking at things like maybe some people have unsubscribed from your email list, or maybe your views are down. You're like, see, I'm annoying people. I'm too much. I put it out there too much. No, you haven't. There are people still right now, even though we've had almost 2,000 people sign up for that summer cash live training, that are like, oh my God, I wish I knew you were doing a live training. There's people every single week that DM me or that email us and say, God, Tiffany should really talk about her podcast more. I just found it and it's incredible. It's like, oh my God, I couldn't possibly talk about it anymore, right? I need you to be at that point. I can't possibly talk about it anymore, but I need you to be in the space of doing it, one, strategically, and two, you have to be excited. How can you make it exciting? Do you need to invest in having a photo shoot? Do you need to make your own photo shoot at home? Do you need to get an outfit made like I tend to do, right? Have someone make an outfit, get props. What do you need to do to get yourself so excited that you can put the people on blast for this offer? And the fourth thing, that if you invest in learning this, you will never not make money on anything you do. And even if you went back and like, you want to quit your job and do freelance work for me, work for get jobs off Fiverr. This is one of the highest paid skills that you can have, and it's only going to continue to grow. You can do it user-generated content. I have clients that make thousands of extra dollars a month doing user-generated content for other brands so that they could quit their jobby job, do this while they're building their coaching business, their healing business, their other business on the side. Is the multi-million-dollar profitable content strategy. For the first time ever, aside from working with me privately, we are going to take you through this multi-million-dollar proven content strategy that applies to any type of business, and it doesn't require you to shake your ass if you're not into it. You don't need to free the nipple. You don't need to howl at the moon. It requires you to simply be you. And like I said, everything we do is customizable, and we massage it. Because if it doesn't feel good to you, you're not going to execute it and it won't work. And this is one of the key things you're learning in this mastermind. Literally, like, you could put this on your resume and on LinkedIn. That is how valuable what you're learning, because this is the way to make money now. Why do you think this user-generated content is a multi-billion-dollar industry? All these big brands that I consult for my other business that I've had for 16 years, they all are looking at diverting money from traditional ads to getting user-generated content creation. And you can't just slap pretty stuff up there. And you can't just take some nice templates that people do, which is great. Like, I have free templates that you guys can use. And if you're like, oh, I want to see those, just DM me on Instagram. My DMs on TikTok get wild. It's easier if you DM me on Instagram, and I can at Project Me with Tiffany, and I will give you those free templates. It's a great start, but pretty doesn't equal money. Okay. Now, pretty also doesn't equal profitable. Perfect absolutely will kill your profits. I really want you to hear that. This requires you to get out of your perfectionism, out of that wall up protection mode. That's the hardest part of this, but that's why my mastermind's 4 months, to help navigate you through that, because that's the hardest part. The rest of it, this has been tested, massaged, reworked, many, many fails, many, many big wins, tons of money spent on paid ads, tons of money spent in terms of time, in terms of graphics over the last 16 years, with a combined experience of 23 years between me and Samantha, teaching you this multi-million-dollar content strategy. And I don't know what to do with you if you do not feel that it would be crazy for you to not invest in yourself and learning the skill set, which is the fastest growing industry. You can Google that. This is a skill that no one can take away from you. That's what I say about selling. Learning how to sell from a place of integrity and learning to sell using my emotional-based sales techniques. That's why my signature program, Selling with Soul, that I only launch once a year, is a highly successful program, and why I give a certificate at the end. Because people see that you have learned how to do this. That's something that will always make you money over and over again, is learning how to sell in a way that feels good to you and others, and how to create profitable content, and not using sleazy fantasy marketing, but how to create profitable content from a space of being genuine and authentic and emotionally connecting with your ideal client on a deep level. This is it, people. Laid it all out for you. Swipe up. You can get all the links in the show notes. Don't forget, this is the last episode to leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot, send it, email it to us at support@projectmewithtiffany.com. That email address is in the show notes. You can DM me on Instagram. It just is more work for me, but so I'd prefer you email. And as long as you do that and you put your name and Instagram handle in that review, I will give you my brand new, never before released Work Less While Making More printable workbook for free. And this will soon be for sale. So if you blow it off and you don't write the review, you can buy it. But why would you buy it when you could take 30 seconds and show your appreciation for the show and all the value that you get, and hopefully some form of entertainment that you get from listening to my crazy ass. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.